Hey everybody, welcome to The Hype. I am your host Brian Saunders. I'm running the show today all by myself. Corey could not make it. No, we're doing the show a little bit later than usual, but still getting done, and we're still getting down to business here as we go through this young season here in 10 count. Tag Team Division, the Alliance. 3 pay-per-views in so far. Things are heating up here in the Alliance, and got a lot to break down for you tonight. Looking forward to it, and let's get right down to it. Let's do it right now. Alright, let's start off with the first matchup we had of the night. PAH 2-0 taking on Team Bring It at 0-2, and it was a very, very tough matchup. And this matchup actually went down to the very last match. I was very concerned about this, and I was kind of in a tough position because Corey and I picked John Cena to win. Team Bring It picked The Big Show, and we were down by only I think we were down by a couple points, 2 points, and this was a 5-point match, so it would give us the win if we got it right. However, in 10 count, I picked The Big Show, and it was a 7-point match over there. So I kind of had mixed feelings there, but you know, as well as our team's doing at the moment, I kind of had to pull for John Cena to win in order to get us to 3-0. And that match was very good. Took 6 people to take out The Big Show, and then a good old shot by Vince McMahon to John Laurinaitis, and his famous 2 words, "You're fired!" If that was any inkling close there. So that was very awesome. And the PAH picked up the win, moving to 3-0 on this young season. We beat Team Bring It 31-28, and we picked up 2 points for the win, so we ended up with 33 points on the night, moving to 3-0 on this season. Team Bring It, you know, they've really had some tough luck as of right now. You know, they've been in a lot of very close matchups, and they've lost. I know to last one they lost. I can't remember who it was, but they lost right at the end as well, and only by 1 point. I think Adam and them beat them by 1 point. And if something else would have went another way, they, would have won. They could easily be 3-0 right now, and I hate it for them. But hey, that's the way it goes. Only have to win by this much, and that's all it takes to determine a winner and a loser. All right, let's move on to our next matchup here. On the night. Let's see, I think I wrote this down a little wrong. So let's move on. Oh, okay, I wrote that. It's supposed to be... Okay. A Square taking on the Hit Squad. Pretty good matchup, Hit Squad has really come out of the gates very slow. I don't even know if they've come out of the gates, actually. They haven't done that well, but tonight they had a pretty good pay-per-view. They really did. They gave A Squared a good matchup, and in the end, it was very close. However, A Squared picked up the victory, 28-24, moving also to 3-0. And the Hit Squad, unfortunately, is 0-3 as well. They really struggled, but hey, we're only 3 pay-per-views in. We still have a long way to go. So, don't lose hope. Keep fighting for these 2 teams, Team Bring It and Hit Squad, because you never know what's going to happen. Then we have the tournament at the end, and you can definitely win that as well. So there's a lot to go. Anything can happen. Let's move on to our last matchup of the night. We had 2 teams at 1-1, Freedom Fighters and Team Purkis. This was a very interesting matchup. It started off all Team Purkis, and then they slowed up a little bit. Freedom Fighters, they kept on fighting and plugging it out to the end, and the Freedom Fighters picked up the win, 29-25, and they moved to 2-1 on this season, and Team Purkis moves to 1-2. So that was also a good matchup. All 3 of our matchups very close. We won by 3, A Squared won by 4, and Freedom Fighters won by 4. This is the closest matchups we've had yet here this season. So very competitive, and it went right down to the wire. All right, let's move on to fantasy points. And keep in mind when I said how many they won, like 28, 24 A squared, you got to add the 2 points, and then with 29, 25, you have to add the 2 points. But that's without adding the points. All right, let's move on to fantasy points. Here's a kind of an interesting. It's very interesting how the fantasy points ended up on the night. PAH only got 1 fantasy point. We missed the one of the bonus questions, 2 points. How many matches will be added in No Way Out? We said 1, and there was 2, as Ryback was the second match. We only had 1 fantasy point. However, we won the pay-per-view. So that's interesting stat there. That tells you fantasy points don't always make the difference. Last pay-per-view, we got almost every fantasy point right. Here, we only got 1. Team Bring It had 3 fantasy points. A Squared had 3. I think they also lost 2 points on the how many matches would be added. Hit Squad actually had 4 fantasy points. They did pretty well. Freedom Fighters had 4 fantasy points. And Team Perkis, the most fantasy points on the night. Congratulations to Team Perkis for winning the fantasy points. 6 fantasy points, and I'll get to something in a minute what they did. That was very took a lot of guts to do, and ended up working out for them. I'll get to that in a minute. So Team Perkins, congratulations on the fantasy points. However, the PAH owned the pay-per-view, 31 points on the night. Only 1 fantasy point, but it doesn't matter, as the PAH wins the second pay-per-view of the season. All right, let's move on to overall standings here in the Alliance. We'll start in 6th and work our way to the top. Alright, 6th place with 45 points is the Hit Squad, and they are 0-3 on this season. In 5th place, Team Perkis has 60 points, and they are 1-2 on this season. Team Bring It is in 4th place with 81 points. However, they are 0-3. 81 points. They're not that far behind, as you will see in a minute when I get up the leaderboard, but they are 0-3. Freedom Fighters, 88 points, and they are 2-1 so far. In 2nd place, A Squared, Adam and Aaron, 90 points, undefeated, 3-0. And in 1st place with 94 points, the PAH, the Hype, Pack Attack Hype, and we are also 3-0, undefeated. And I will get to something on that in just a second. Actually, right here, right now, in just a minute. Let me pull something up. Let's get to next pay-per-view. Here's what we got going on. Next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Keep in mind, for the first session, it will end at SummerSlam after 5 pay-per-views. Whoever has the most points or wins, however you want to say it, wins 2 points, will be that session champion, tag team champion for that session. So keep in mind that as we move forward. And remember, to determine the winner, it's not overall points, it is wins, losses. And I'll actually give you the actual standings for wins and losses. Here's what they are. In 1st place, PAH has 3-0. A Squared's 3-0. Freedom Fighters is 2-1. It's 3rd place. Team Perkis is in 4th place, 1-2. Team Bring It, 5th place, 0-3. Hit Squad, 6th place, 0-3. That's how we'll actually determine the tournament. That's how we will determine the tournament. It will not be determined by overall points. It will be determined by the points that you get when you face off against your opponent. Alright. Money in the Bank. Shorty, what you drink. Alright, here we go. Matchups for Money in the Bank. We got a lot of things popping here. We got Team Bring It taking on Team Perkis. Team Bring It seeking their first pay-per-view win here in Alliance. And they've had a lot of bad breaks, bad luck. We'll see if the luck can be turned around at Money in the Bank. Also, Hit Squad taking on Freedom Fighters. Freedom Fighters is started off on a pretty good start. They're 2-1. Hit Squad is 0-3. So we'll see what happens in that matchup. And then the last matchup, the matchup of the week, or the matchup of the month, you might want to say here. The battle of the unbeatens. Pack Attack Hype taking on A Squared. Something's got to give. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This ship ain't big enough for the both of us. So somebody is going to lose, and if we don't lose, somebody's going to tie. Put it this way, not both of us will be 4-0 heading in to the biggest party of the SummerSlam. So looking forward to that, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. And I should have said this ring isn't big enough for the both of us. So something will give. Money in the Bank, PAH taking on A Squared. I'm very hyped. I'm very pumped up, and hopefully me and Corey will remain undefeated. And I'll tell you one thing, the winner of this has a good chance to go on and win the first session here in 10 Count, the Tag Team Division Alliance. So, man. But also, Freedom Fighters still have a chance. Team Perkins has an outside shot to win. Unfortunately, Hit Squad and Team Bring It, I do not think they can pull it off at this point. Actually, they cannot pull it off at this point because we have 3 wins, and they don't have any. The most they can get is 2. So they will not be able to win this session. But like I said, there's still session 2. There's a tournament, and there's overall points at the end to determine the overall tag team champions here in this inaugural season. You know, man, very excited about Money in the Bank, and not just because of our matchup, but just because things are heating up, and things are, you know, pretty close. Freedom Fighters are hanging in there. Team Bring It, you know, hasn't won a matchup at all, but they're only 13 points behind. 13 points behind. That is not much at all. That's 2 matches right there. So they're right in it, in the mix, and they fought hard, and they deserve to be where they are, even though they have lost. You know, I think their luck's about to turn around. I really do, and I wish them good luck moving forward. All right. Hype of the night. Thanks to Mr. Davis, we have Hype of the Night. We've been doing it for since we started this season, and we are now to the 3rd Hype of the Night. You know, I really had to think about this one because there was not a whole lot that really stood out. There was a few things that did, but there wasn't nothing that said, wow, you know, this has to be Hype of the Night. There was nothing that said that. There was a lot of things I believe I saw that could have been Hype of the Night and very good candidates. And after thinking about it, you know, it was a tough decision for me. It really was. But after thinking about it, Hype of the Night goes to Team Perkins. Team Perkins, congratulations. And here's why they got Hype of the Night. Here's what they did. They picked the 4-point bonus question, the only team to pick it. Here's what it was. How many times will Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler go off the turnbuckle during their match? And the choices were 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 5 to 7, I think 8 to 10, and more than 10. They picked 4 to 6, and I think the answer was 5. How many times they went off the turnbuckle. Congratulations to Team Perkins. If they would have missed that, they would have lost 4 points. They would have only ended up with 17 points on the night. Wow. Because they were sitting at 21, and they got 4 points for them for getting that right. So they ended up 25. Unfortunately, that was not enough to win the pay-per-view. That's why I really struggled giving them Hype of the Night. But I just feel like they earned it. You know, they're the only team that picked it. They went out on a limb. You know, they really poured their guts out. They went out there and they took the risk and they got the points. It didn't end up giving them the win, but you know, that was still a very gutsy decision, and I have to give you props for it. And congratulations for the Hype of the Night by Team Perkins. Alright. Something I'll always do honorable mentions. I feel like that should be definitely some mentions here. First of all, PAH. You know, I thought about giving us the Hype of the Night. I gave us the Hype of the Night last time at the last pay-per-view. But I just feel a lot of teams almost did this. We're the only team to actually do this here at No Way Out, and that was pick every single match correct. There were 6 matches on the card that we picked. We picked them all correct, and I think that's a very good accomplishment. That's tough to do, and we did that. That could have definitely been hype of the night, but it's nothing that was extraordinary, and it did help us to pick up the victory. I think we only won by 3 points. We did horrific in the fantasy points tonight. We did really well last time, and we sucked it up at No Way Out. And but that, getting those matches did end up helping us win. And I think that's a really good candidate for hype of the night. But that is definitely an honorable mention. Also, 2 other things I want to mention is the fact that we have 2 teams that are unbeaten, undefeated in the world right now. And that is PAH and A Squared at 3-0. And like I said, Money in the Bank, these 2 teams clash head to head. Something's got to give. Somebody will win and somebody will lose. So it should be very interesting to see who jumps out in first place heading in to SummerSlam. And that's going to be a big matchup. Looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens. But again, hype of the night, Team Perkins, congratulations to you. Now, Champions Corner, last pay-per-view, Corey and I won the pay-per-view. Tonight we won the pay-per-view. So we're not really going to do Champions Corner. But during this segment, Champions Corner, I do want to take a minute, and I just thought of this. I really did. I didn't think about this before. But I want to take a minute. I just want to thank, Adam and Aaron and Corey and just everybody in the tag team division for helping me out. And I want to personally thank Adam for helping me create the tag team division, giving me some pointers and helping me set up the database and putting things on the website. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I could do it myself. I mean, I could, but it would take... I'd have to, learn the process and stuff. So I want to definitely personally thank Adam Davis for helping me out. I want to thank Aaron also for he's had a few little pointers, and Corey has had some pointers as well. And I just want to thank all the teams for being a part of this tag team division. We started out 9 years ago with 3 people. It was Kenny, me, and Adam. Back in 2003, and we really expanded 10 count. We've gotten up to 14 members at one point, and this has really been something that I just never dreamed of. I never dreamed of it getting this big, us going on the internet and getting all these people to be involved in this. And last year I was talking to Adam, and I said, let's do something different. Let's be creative here. Let's create another division, and that's what we did, and that's Tag Team Division. And he helped me name it Tag Team Division, The Alliance. And here we go, and we're in our first season, 3 pay-per-views in, and it's been very successful so far. A whole lot of fun, and the fantasy questions have brought about a whole nother beast to this, to the pay-per-views and picking and whatnot. So I just want to thank everybody for being a part of the Alliance, and for picking, and for being involved, and for caring. Because if it wasn't for y'all picking, we couldn't do it either. And I just want to thank everybody for being a part of this, and for helping, and just for all the teams. Good luck moving forward. I really wish y'all the best of luck, and may the best team win in the end here in this first season. So I just thought I would do that. I figured it would be nice to thank everybody for being a part, and for helping out. Thank you very much. Alright, well, I think that's pretty much it for No Way Out here at the pay-per-view. And we're 3 pay-per-views in, and things are picking up. And I look forward to Money in the Bank to see what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of points on the line. You got at least 1 Money in the Bank match, possibly 2 Money in the Bank matches, and there's going to be some title matches on the line and other things. So there's going to be a lot of points, and the fantasy points, let me tell you, it could exceed 10 at Money in the Bank. We got a lot of things going with fantasy. Just Money in the Bank, you could think of 10 points just for the Money in the Bank match alone. So I'm going to be very creative, and it's going to be hard. So be prepared for all the fantasy questions at Money in the Bank, and it should be cool, and we look forward to that. And I think the fantasy points are going to be probably the most creative that they've ever been at Money in the Bank, and I'm going to try to explain everything well so that you know what's going on and whatnot, and so that you understand. And that's something we're trying to work on a little bit. It's getting a little more precise about the information and the questions, and making more sense and going into more detail. So we're going to try to do that so there's no confusion from now on for all the fantasy points and whatnot. So try to do that, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else we got going on heading into Money in the Bank. I don't think so. Again, congratulations on for the PAH for winning the pay-per-view, and we look forward to the matchups at Money in the Bank. We will see you then. Good luck. I'm Brian Saunders. Believe the hype. We'll see you next time. See you at Money in the Bank. Good luck, everybody. And like I said, somebody is going to be undefeated 4-0 at Money in the Bank. Who's it going to be? PAH or A Squared? Who's going to own the night, grab the briefcase, and be undefeated at Money in the Bank? We'll see you next time. Believe the hype. Woo! Peace out, everybody.
Many folks ain't never heard of me, so I'ma introduce myself by using some of my hyperboles. Waiting for the day I get the silence I deserve. So I ain't talking accent when I say I just wanna be there. It seems like everywhere I go, everybody there trying to steal the show. So I'm here with my plan. I gotta let them hear who I am. I wanna show that never my time. Today is my day. So they can't say that cause I'm getting my way. It's my time to shine.
We'll see you at Money in the Bank. Good night, everybody.